everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer. Today we are looking at the Dior Mitzah collection. This, I believe, is spring, but I also think it's launching at, well, I know it's launching, or at least I've been told it's launching, at Harrods on December 25th. Let me just pull up the site really quickly. It says, launching December 26th, the Dior Mitzah collection. Discover limited edition Dior makeup must-haves wrapped in leopard print packaging with the brand's Mitzah collection. Created in tribute to Christian Dior's muse, Mitzah Bricard. That's what it says. Let me see if there's any, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but let me just double check. I don't believe that there was anything that said exactly what was in it. All right, there's pictures, but I'm not sure what's part of the collection and what isn't. So what I'm gonna do today are the pieces that I know are part of the Mitzah collection and will launch at Harrods on the 26th. I have more pieces of Dior that are, I believe part of Mitzah, but they could also just be spring. So I will do those separately in case they are not available yet, because I don't want to have to take the entire video down because there's a piece in there that actually hasn't launched. So today we'll just focus on the things that I happen to know are part of Mitzah and will be launched on the 26th. This is the high color eyeshadow wardrobe. It has the leopard print packaging, and on the back it says 001 Mitzah edition. When you open it up, to me, it looks like a face palette. It doesn't look like an eyeshadow palette, but you sort of have the eyeshadow palette, the quad in the middle, but it actually is 6 shades because the middle shade is split into 2. And then you have these outer shades that to me look like highlighters and blushes and possibly even bronzer, but that's not what it says. It does say eyeshadow. I'm going to use them on my face, but just so you know, that's what it says. Then there's the Christian Dior. Now this is, here's the box. Forever Cushion Powder. It says ultrafine skin fresh loose powder. Longwear and translucent perfection. I haven't opened it yet, but again, same packaging. We've got the leopard print. And I have one of the lipsticks. Now, this lipstick may be part of spring. It may be part of Mitzah. And so I'm not absolutely sure, so I'm taking a risk here, but I feel like it's probably okay. It's Pink Leopard, which I believe is a new shade. It's 564 and it's velvet. And the reason I'm thinking it's part of Mitzah is because its name is Pink Leopard. So I feel like it's probably a good bet. It's a little confusing, as always, to know exactly what's part of what, because Dior hasn't made it very clear. But I will say that it would make sense. It's called Pink Leopard. It doesn't have the leopard packaging. It's just the regular packaging, but I think it is. From when I look at the picture, it looks to me that there's like a pinky shade, which I think this is, and then like a red velvet shade. And if I look at and I'll post the picture that it's on the Harrods site, so I feel like it's safe to post. You notice the lipstick looks like this. It looks like a regular bullet. So I think we're okay. I also have 3 other Dior palettes. One is the Cruise, you know, the spring that came out for a couple of days and then disappeared. That's for 2023. I have to do a video on that. And then I have 2 others that are spring, summer kind of stuff. That will all be on Patreon. In fact, this will likely be on Patreon first. So let's dive in and take a look at all of this. I have on my face the Christian Dior foundation, I can't speak, the Cushion Foundation. This is in 1N Neutral. And I picked this up because I was like, well, I'll use the other, you know, special packaging as the foundation. I actually really like this foundation. I think it works really well. It's just got a great finish to it. Makes your skin look really natural. It's very comfortable. I have very dry skin, but it works extremely well for me. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to swatch these for you, all of the shades in here, and then we're going to figure out what I can use for blush, what I can use for highlighter, what might work for even bronzer. There's a shade in here that I think might work because I'm so pale. Don't know yet. But again, I want you to see the inside of the palette. The finishes look like there's a little bit of shimmer to some of them, and others look more like a satin, but we will find out in a moment. here we go. All right, let's start left to right. So these are the squares. See, that looks like a highlighter to me. Like a peachy highlighter. A little bit of shimmer. And I don't know the reason behind this new format. Like I haven't heard anything from Dior. Okay, now we're in the quad. Well, it's not even a quint. What's 6? Octo is 8. I don't really remember. Yeah, see, these look very pink. They look pigmented. It's not that. It's just, I don't know about like for eyeshadow, but put the other ones over here. That's what I was thinking I might be able to use as a bronzer. That one has like more of a pink to it. I might be able to use that as bronzer too. And now I'm using the shades that are in the middle, in the little triangles. All right, those are all the shades. These two shades, the far left, and I'll hold the palette up again, these two far left shades have shimmer to them, and I think would work really well as highlighter. This for a deeper skin tone, this for a lighter skin tone. They're both a little bit warm leaning. Then the next two shades are very light, very pink and peach. They look to be like satins. These two shades look to be more like mattes. This one is basically red, like it's a neutral red, and here's more like a mulberry. And then the last two shades over here, this looks like a burnt sienna, could be used as a bronzer possibly. This has purple undertones to it, so reddish purple undertones. I wouldn't necessarily say that I would, it depends, but I think that's gonna be a little too pink for a bronzer. And then the triangle shades in the middle look very light. One could be like a brow color, and this is on the eye. I think, again, these are all supposed to be eyeshadows, so it's an interesting choice. I'm not exactly sure why it's so pink slash orange. Like the only shade here that has like a brown tone to it is this one. Yeah, it's definitely got that pinky hue. And not to give anything away, but the other palette, eyeshadow palette that may go with this one, but I don't know if it does, also has these colors on it. Very pink. Now, I have nothing against pink, but I'm not somebody who wears a lot of pink. I just don't really look good with pink on my face. Part of it is my coloring. You know, pink is not the most flattering shade on me, so doesn't thrill me that it's pink, but anyway. Let's use the Niji Pro for bronzer. I'm gonna dip into this shade here, which had like the brownest color, very, very lightly, and just see what that'll do. Yeah, I mean, it's too orange. Maybe if I took a little bit of the reddish shade over it. I mean, it works, but it's not great. For somebody with, you know, a deeper skin tone, you could probably get away with it. I am, of course, very pale. So let me try this. I'm keeping it towards like the outer parts of my face because I feel like if I do it more towards the hairline, it's not so obvious. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Like, I mean, I can make it work, but using this as a face palette, I think will be tough if you're looking for a bronzing shade. Like I said, I think this works because I am mixing the browner shade with the redder shade, and I'm kind of even using it like blush here. And so I think, you know, it's working because I'm kind of sculpting and using it as blush. But I think on most folks, there's really not a natural shade for bronzer. Which, I mean, it doesn't say it's a face palette. It says it's an eyeshadow palette, just to be fair to it. So, okay. Let's take this shade and use it as highlighter. I'm just trying to see the versatility of this, like what I can do with it. Because I feel if you're gonna have something this big, I don't know, I feel like it should be a face palette, I guess. But it does say eyeshadow. That definitely works as a highlighter. And I think if I go over my foundation a little bit, this has nothing on it, but it's an Anissa brush. It's what I use for foundation. Yeah, I think that blended it out a little bit. All right, so we've used these two shades as kind of bronzer blush. We've this shade as a highlighter. I'm gonna take a little bit of this and put it on the face as well. This is more of a peachy tone. So I'm gonna kind of use it as like a high blush. I think on a deeper skin tone, it will make a great highlighter. On somebody light like me, fair like me, I think as an illuminating blush, it works well. We're gonna use these shades for eyeshadow, and like I said, this is a very pinky look, like really pink, which, you know, is not my favorite. Let's start. So this is very, like they said, this shade right here is like a red, like a neutral red. This is more of a berry over here, and these are more peachy tones. So I'm going to focus more with the peachy tones, but I'm going to go in with that berry shade first. And these are either mattes or satins, the red shade and like this berry shade. I'm going in very light with it. You know, these are the things, like you can go a little bit lighter and then you can build up if you feel like you like the shade on yourself. These are shades that don't generally work that well for me. Like they're not that flattering, so I'm going to use less of them. And my Will I Buy It for Spring will be up soon. If not already up, actually, by the time this one goes up, because this will probably go up after. It'll be on Patreon first, but it probably won't be on my regular channel first. All right, let's take that neutral red shade, and you'll see the things that I plan to pick up for spring. Basically sticking to Dior, like this is here, Chanel, Tom Ford. Everything else is kind of a maybe. My spring spending will be very low. You guys, if you watched my Harrods haul video, which many of you did, thank you. You can see that I have plenty. I have plenty. And honestly, I just, you know, you need to, like, every once in a while, just be like, I have enough, go through your stuff, figure out what you're not using, because this, you know, all these products do eventually go bad, and I feel like there's a lot of them that I really haven't been able to use and enjoy. And I had a lot of favorites from this year. My favorites video will be coming up soon that I haven't got to play with. All right. So we've used this shade first, this shade second. Now I'm going to concentrate on these shades here. I'll use that whitish shade. In fact, I'll do that now. It's like a cream shade, the one in the middle. I'm going to use that as brow bone. It's very shimmery. Inner corner highlight would also work as really well, and I'll probably do that. I've mentioned a couple times, you don't always want to have something that's really shimmery in your brow bone area. It can bring out texture, can make your eyes look heavier, depending on, you know, the shape of your eyes. So just keep that in mind. Depends on, you know, your particular eye, but I have seen that. I have seen that happen. Let's take the peachier shade, which is this one here. Put that on the eye itself. This is like a shimmery peach. It's actually a really nice shade. I think this would look good with a lot of other colors. Like you could team this with some browns or bronzy shades, and it would look quite nice. It's subtle. It's very light, but it's a nice peach. It's soft. It is not super pigmented. It's very soft. It actually it lends itself to spring. Like I can see that. And then we'll take the pinkier of the two, put it out here. Yeah, I would say this is absolutely a spring palette because it's very pink, very spring-like, you know, traditional, what you think of when you think of spring. That's another reason I think my spring will be less. I'm not a huge spring person. Like spring is not my favorite time of year, and like peaches and pinks and stuff, I'm kind of like, I can live with them or live without them. All right, let's line with the shade that's here. This is almost like, it's like an orange, almost like a terracotta peach. It's actually pretty. It's got a nice shimmer to it. That might be my favorite shade in here, actually. There's more warmth to it. Okay, so that is the finished look. I will obviously put on mascara, but you can see what a light pink shimmery look it is. I did not do a lot of red or burgundy or any of those other shades. I'm just blending this tiny bit at the top. Now, I think if you put in any of those shades, you can make this a much deeper look. And the shades that I used kind of as blush and bronzer, they absolutely would deepen the look. So if you use these shades, you'd get a much deeper look. And I could take any of the two shades that I laid down first and make them deeper, and then you'd have a deeper look. But again, that's just not something I would do because I don't really like reds on my eyes. Pinks I can handle, peaches I can handle, red, don't love that. All right, so let me curl my mascara. Let me curl my lashes, put on mascara. I'm going to use Dior Pump and Glow, and then we'll get to the powder and the lipstick. Okay, I have to say, I actually like it more with the mascara on than I do without it. Because the mascara up against the pink is like a really interesting contrast. And it actually looks quite nice. I like this soft pink look. I will say though, I feel like, again, this is just me. If you're gonna have huge pans like this and you're gonna have shades that look like they could be highlighters. Now I understand you could also use these on the eye. I get that. I just feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a eyeshadow palette. It feels like a face palette, but could just be me. Let's take this like peachy shade that I used as like blush highlighter, just to use a little bit on the lid. I'll say the formula is very soft, like it feels really nice. Now I'm just using the one that I used as like highlighter. It feels nice. It feels very smooth, very silky. It went on the eye extremely well. It's not that, I just, you know, again, it feels just like kind of a, I'm using the shade right here as inner corner highlight a little. I just feel like it's built to look a little bit like a face palette, and you get, or face and eye, but the colors don't really lend itself to be that. So I'm not exactly sure, but it does say eyeshadow. It says high color eyeshadow wardrobe. So, you know, I'd love your thoughts. Like, again, it's not bad. It's not my color story, but if you like these colors, it's very spring-like. I just feel like, I don't know, they seem like big pans for just eyeshadow, but the look is nice. I think it's pretty. Soft and pretty. All right, so let's take a look at the powder. Fingers are crossed here, guys, that this is not one of the glitter powders, because I don't think I could take it. Same leopard packaging, same compact that the Millefiori has and all the other ones have. I'm gonna take the sticker off. I'm just like, please, please do not be. Please do not be glitter. So this is described as, by the way, rose or rosé, depending on, and it does look like it has a pink texture to it, a pink shade to it. I'm going to use a brush. I'll swatch it in just a second. It does look like to have like a pink cast to it, just a little bit. Oh, and it has a scent. What is that? It's a nice scent. Can't put my finger on it. Ooh. Nice. Okay. It's very pretty. It definitely has a pinkish tone to it. Let me see if I could get it on my finger. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it definitely has a pinkish. I'm going to try it under my eyes as well. I can really see it on the back of my hand. Let me get a powder puff. Okay, here we go. Oh, that looks nice. That looks really nice. And it's not glitter, guys. Yeah, all right. So this reminds me of the Lavender powder by Dior, but that, of course, is lavender, has that purple. This is definitely like a rose, like a pink. But it's very brightening. I think it's absolutely very finely milled. Didn't settle into lines. I'm looking at my 10x mirror over here. Looks really nice. Excellent under the eyes. This one might be a winner. I don't know. I think this is all limited edition. On the back it says rosé or rose loose powder, 0.35 ounces, which is 10 grams. I'm just looking to see if there's anything on here. Made in France, 12-month shelf life. Okay, if I can find out if it's limited. I assume these are all limited edition because of the packaging, but really like this powder. It says rosé. It looks beautiful on the skin. Really brightening, feels really nice, feels very soft, not drying. Yeah, I really like the powder. That's really nice powder. Wonder if I have my lavender. Okay, what I want to do is, so the lavender is there. Let me see. It's hard with powder because it's so hard to see it, you know, it's like, it's translucent. So here's the new one, the rose. Here's the lavender. Yeah, definitely a difference in shade. They feel the same. Actually, the new one feels a little smoother. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely pinker, rose. And then the lavender one is definitely lavender. I mean, that sounds stupid, but you get my point. There's definitely, this has the lavender shade. I don't want to not powder everywhere. And then here is the rose, the new one. You can even see it, like just like that. So I will keep using it and playing around with it, but I gotta tell you, I really like this, which is saying a lot for me because powders and I don't normally get along, but that looks really nice. Okay, so I'm not thrilled with the eyeshadow wardrobe, but the powder's a winner. All right, so let's move to the lipstick. Like I said, I don't know for sure that this is part of it, but the shade is Pink Leopard 564, which I believe is a new shade. This is a velvet. That's the shade. It is pink, which will go perfectly with this look. Not my favorite colored lipstick, I will admit, but if you like a bright pink, this is gonna be something that you love. Again, Pink Leopard goes really well with the eye look. Really nice combination, which is why I'm gonna guess it's part of it. Also because its name is Pink Leopard and you have the leopard packaging. So I just have to believe that, you know, those two things go together. Like I have to think that that's, you know, I would be surprised if this isn't one of the part of the collection. But yeah, I think it's a very pink look. It's very springy. For me, the spring and the leopard seems a little off. Like, you know, to have a leopard print and spring pinkness. Not exactly what comes to mind. But again, formula is good. The shades look very pretty. It's a very pink look, very peachy pink. Not my favorite, but does perform well. And the lipstick is, you know, they're velvet lipsticks, which I really do like. They're pretty comfortable for a velvet. So the winner, in my opinion, is the powder, because this is a beautiful powder. Went on perfectly, very finely milled, feels very, very soft. There is a little bit of a scent. It could be like rose because the shade name is rosé. I don't actually know, but that's kind of what it smells like. And I think these two, the shades with this Pink Leopard, if this is part of it, go really well together. It's a very cohesive look. And if you like a pink peachy look, this is gonna be for you. And it absolutely does hit the notes of spring. So again, coming to Heritage the 26th of December. So I will have this up. Let me just look at my calendar really quickly. I'll have this on Patreon first, but 26th is a Monday. So I'll have this up Monday morning. I'll just have like different timing so that you guys can see it if you want to order from Harrods. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.